Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Going to be doing a little bit of look at the Type 96A. This is a Tier 7 Chinese main battle tank, and not going to get too serious into it, but just going to talk a bit about its strengths, a little bit about its weaknesses, and how it happens to play in Glops, which is the best mode in Armored Warfare to play. Haha. So, on this map, I think it's Bear and Divide, this map. You gotta, if you're in a really big slow heavy tank, you're gonna struggle a bit on this map because it has a lot of hills, and you've got to try and get around and move around quite a bit. So one of the strengths of this vehicle I found was that it moves fairly well. The agility of the tank is quite good. The gun handling on the move seems to be pretty good. I don't mind the gun. It's kind of like the Type 99. Its strength really isn't the armor. I found the turret is strong enough. Like, I don't necessarily think it's the best turret in the world, but it's not bad. The gun depression on the vehicle isn't stellar. I think it's like only like -6, maybe -5, or it's somewhere between -6 and -7, I think, from what I remember. I just know it's not that great, but it's able to do its job kind of good enough with what it has. So just gonna show a little bit moving up into this cap zone here, trying to climb. The tank's got pretty good torque, and it does get up to its top speed fairly well, and I choose to usually just augment the abilities of agility with my main battle tank so they can turn and get the turrets turning, and either reloading or aiming a little bit quicker is mostly what I try and achieve with my main battle tanks. And I don't necessarily change the formula too much with what I do and commanders and stuff. So I had a pretty long period of driving without too much going on there, so I thought I would just skip it. So the agility of the vehicle is quite good. It kind of feels like a blend between a light tank and a main battle tank. So I went over here to try and take back the 10 cap. So the best place kind of where I'm found is to try and just roll in beside this red building over here. So I just decided to start backing in to this spot behind the red building. And the town on the Bear and Divide is fantastic. It's probably the best town that they've made because all the buildings are blown up. There's rubble piles everywhere, and honestly, I think it looks really good. There's like blasted holes in all the buildings, everything's all broken up, and there's things on the road, and there's holes in the road, so you can actually find places to go a little bit hull down, which is better than a lot of the city type maps in Armored Warfare. I find that when you can get maps like this where there's things to hide behind, it's just a little bit more believable and a little bit easier to play. There's more dynamics to what's going on. So I'm driving along here, and this Terminator decides to go crazy, blasts us over the hill, and hits me with a rocket. Does a lot of damage to me, and just seems to want to face hug me, not let me get around on him. But I managed to get his side enough there to put one into him, and I also had the help of the Abrams there to my side, so that ended up turning out pretty good for me. So again, I'm gonna turn around and start heading back into that other cap zone there to see if I can try and help out with what's going on. And yeah, I like the looks of this vehicle too. It's a pretty sharp looking tank, and with a certain camouflage on it, it looks really good. And you can see there the blown up buildings, and there's a lot of dust and smoke driving around. Yeah, it looks really good. I kind of wish they would make a whole level that was just this kind of destroyed city looking thing, like something like a Sarajevo type level something. So coming around, I'm actually going to shatter this shot on the back of the Terminator, unfortunately. So that was a little bit crappy, but it's only going to happen once. I'm going to pretty much shoot him in the exact same spot, and it's not going to shatter. So I haven't really gotten a good explanation as to why the shots shatter in this game. Like, if it's just like a we don't want you to pen this shot kind of mechanic or what, but I've never really seen a proper explanation of why that seems to happen. So just pop on up over the top of the hill, gonna see what else I can shoot, and I'm pretty beat up. I've got about half my health left, and I'm not too far from the repair point, but I want to try and get over into the 6 cap if I can. But I'm probably not going to make it there before our team ends up capping it. But you can see here the tank gets up to speed really well, and if you like the way this tank feels, if you get the what is it, the Type 96B, it's like a version that they a pretty nice shot there in the UAV when it disappeared. And the Type 96B is a Tier 8 premium tank, and it's a lot faster than this, but the gun is a little bit underwhelming, and the armor isn't really anything to write home about, but it handles so well and it moves so well. It's a really interesting tank to drive. It also makes really good credits. So if you like this vehicle, you'll like the Type 96B as well, and just probably the previous tank, the Type 96, just by itself. So I can see on the map here, this guy is going to come in on me. So I just try and position myself here to get a shot into him with my armor facing him. He gives me his side, I pen him, and I've got the little bit of a help of the Terminator on my right side helping me. So he's going to actually drop in back behind there. So I get shot into him again. He manages to bounce another one off the side of me, and I'm going to keep backing up, and I figured out the replay controls a little bit better. I've actually figured out that the C button, I think, takes the camera down instead of me having to drive up and down. So I'll be improving that action kind of in my next few replays that I do of Modern Warfare. But I do like the replay system. You can go in cockpit, you can fly around in free cam, and that's not something you can really readily do in any other tank game as far as I'm aware without having after market mods or something like that. So again, I'm gonna keep pushing up using the speed of the vehicle to see what I can find, but I'm pretty beat up, and I had the choice here. I could have driven back and repaired myself, or I can keep moving up, but I decide I'm kind of driving around deciding what I'm gonna do, and you can see that the turret turns pretty quick as well. It doesn't really have any problems getting around. And I decided to take some long-range shots to try and test the gun a little bit. And the first one did hit him, didn't really do anything. And then the second one hit him, did a little bit of damage. But that was because I fired an HE round at him. So I did manage to break his gun on one of the shots, which was nice. So again, I'm popping up over the hill, and we run into some bots, which isn't really the best thing for me because they can still do damage to me, and they do manage to pen me, unfortunately, because they have a presence. And the armor on the Type 96 isn't super amazing. It's definitely not a Challenger, and if you ever have to fight nose to nose with a Challenger, you pretty much just want to get into a trading battle with him and start driving around him in circles. And here I was just taking a look at the vehicle. Really sharp looking, especially when you can throw the camo on it and get the different paint colors underneath looking pretty good. So this AI is actually going to back up into my line of sight, so I put a shot into him there. And unfortunately, I do have a Challenger coming on me. I'm at really low health, but I've managed to take this point, and I'm going to take a quick shot at the Challenger. Didn't pen him. And honestly, I think if there's any tank that needs a little bit of reworking, it's probably the Challenger at Tier 7. Because honestly, like the frontal armor on it is a little bit too strong, and I kind of think that it needs to have some more weak spots put into it. If it's just removal of some armor on the bottom part of the upper plate, or the bottom the lower plate, something like that, I think would make it a little bit more balanced. But here is pretty much the end of the battle. Put a shot into the back of this Terminator, and we managed to win this one pretty well and cap a lot of the points. And even if I don't do the most damage in the game, as long as I can get to the points and take the points and win, that's the whole point. Like if I can take some of the UAV stuff, that's good, but I ended up doing 8,000, which isn't too bad. Killed 4 enemies, got quite a good amount of money out of it, which wasn't too bad. But being a Tier 7 and Tier 8 game, I did fairly well. Our TADU actually did a really good job in that game too. So made good money, got 71,000 because it was a ×5 for EXP, and I found the gun to be pretty accurate, and can't really complain. So yeah, the Type 96A, great Tier 7 main battle tank, and I'll be doing reviews of all the Chinese main battle tanks because I have all of them almost except for the 9 and 10. Alright guys, thank you for watching this preview of the Type 96A. Like, comment, subscribe, and throw me a little bit of love if you want. Cheers, bye.